Hello friends, welcome to Study Algorithms, and in today's video we would be looking at insertion sort. First, I will tell you what is sorting and why is it important in computer programming. Next, I will show you how insertion sort works with an event that you use in your daily life. We will then look at the code, do a dry run, and see how the sorting logic actually works. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, what is sorting? Sorting is a very elementary concept in computer programming. So, if you have landed on this video via a search, it means that you are just getting started with the basics of computer programming. To put it in really simple words, sorting is a process where you arrange all the items systematically. You want to arrange, or I would say sort the data in such a way that it follows a common pattern. For example, an increasing sequence of numbers is called an ascending order and a decreasing sequence is called a descending order. Hence, in computer science, sorting simply means to arrange a set of items in a specific way. The importance of sorting is not realized immediately. For example, if you have used a dictionary, you know that all the words are arranged in a lexicographic manner. That means that all the words that start with the letter B would be placed after all the words that start with the letter A. And similarly, all the words that start with the letter C would be placed after all the words that start with the letter B, and so on. We then take advantage of this fact and find a word in the dictionary. This is also often known as the divide and conquer algorithm. Check the link in the description below if you want to know more about it. So now we have established why sorting is essential. Just like there are many different ways to solve a problem, there are many different ways to sort a sequence as well. And insertion sort is one of those techniques. And as the name suggests, the core concept behind insertion sort is insert. That means we will try to insert an element at certain places such that we are able to get a sorted sequence at the end. So how does that look? Let us have a look with an example from our day-to-day lives. We all must have played card games. In most of them, when we are dealt a hand, the first thing we do is sort our cards. That is, we arrange them in an ascending order. Or what you would do is you would group all of the suits together. To first understand insertion sort better, let us just take up one suit and all of them are diamonds. The order right now I have is 2, 5, 9, 3, 7, 4, Jack and a king. Try to pause here for a while and think for a moment what steps you would be taking. Just detail out all the steps even if they're puny just to get a good understanding of insertion sort. This is how I would sort this hand of cards. I start off with number 2. Since I cannot sort one card, I just move ahead. Next, I look up two cards, 2 and 5. These seem sorted to me, so I don't do anything about it. I take up the next card, 9. Now this is again sorted, so I don't have to do anything. Now I take up number 3. This is where things get interesting. How do I put this card in the right place? I compare 3 and 9. Since 3 is smaller than 9, I swap out the position of these two cards. Next, I compare 3 and 5. Since 3 is smaller than 5, I swap out the position of 3 and 5. Next, I compare 3 and 2. And now 3 seems to be at the right place. So what we did is, we took up card number 3 and we inserted it at the right place. Moving forward, I come up with number 7. I take up this card and I try to compare it with 9. Since it is smaller, I would swap it. Now I compare 7 with 5. Since 7 is greater than 5, I would insert this card over here. And hence now 7 has been inserted at the right position. Moving forward, I go up with card number 4. I compare 4 and 9. Since 4 is smaller, I swap out both of them. Since 4 is smaller than 7, I again swap out both of them. Since 4 is smaller than 5, I again swap out both of them. Now 4 is greater than 3, so I stop my swapping. I would move ahead and see Jack and King, but they are already sorted. So After all these iterations, this is how my hand looks, and all of these cards are sorted. At each iteration, I was taking up one card and inserting it at the right position. Notice the fact that I was emphasizing on the word insert whenever I was placing the cards at the right place. This is how insertion sort actually works. And I would recommend you to remember it this way. You take up a card and you insert it at the right place. And after a couple of iterations, you would have a sorted sequence at the end. If this concept is now clear to you, we can move towards the code. But if you still feel a little confused about this, I would recommend you to rewind this video a couple of minutes back and review it once again. Once that is clear in your mind, understanding the code would become a hell lot easier. So, if you're ready, let us do a dry run of the code for insertion sort. To start off with a dry run of the code, on the left side of your screen, I have the actual implementation of an insertion sort. And on the right, this time I have actual numbers instead of the cards. So we take up this array and we pass this array into the function. Now n is just calculating the size of the array, and in this case this value is 8. Next, we are running a for loop that goes from the second card all the way up to the end. The key is used to identify the card that we have in our hand. The value of j determines the position up till which we have to compare. In the cards, if we had the card at position number 4, we were comparing all the cards up till position number 3. And then we use a while loop to swap out all the cards that are smaller than my current card. So this comprises of one iteration. So let us start with iteration number 1. So the value of I is 1 and I'm pointing to element number 5. So my key is 5 and the value of j would be 1 minus 1 equals to 0. That means I have to look up till the 0th position. I enter my while loop and I try to compare 5 with other values. Since 5 is greater than 2, we wouldn't be making any modifications in this iteration and this iteration would simply complete. Moving on, the value of I now changes to 2 and I'm pointing at the number 9. So my key is 9 and the value of j would be 2 minus 1 equals to 1. That means we are looking up till the first element of the array. I again enter my while loop and I see that 9 is greater than 5. So I won't need to make any other changes again in this iteration. So this iteration completes again without any modification in the array. Moving ahead to I equals to 3. And now I am pointing at the number 3 itself. This is where things get interesting. So the value of j changes to 2. 3 minus 1 equals to 2. That means I need to look up till position number 2 of the array. So this time I compare 3 and 9. Since 3 is smaller than 9, I swap out both of these elements. Once I swap it out, my array looks something like. Now again, since this while loop is running, I again compare 3 and 5. 3 is again less than 5, so I swap both of these. I would again compare 3 and 2, but since 3 is now more than 2, I wouldn't be performing any swaps and my array would remain as it is. So notice that 3 got inserted at the right position and we would be making subsequent changes on this array now. Moving on to our next iteration, I is equal to 4 now and hence I is pointing at 7. My key becomes 7 and the value of j would be 4 minus 1 equals to 3. That means we are looking up till the third element in the array. So in my while loop, I compare 7 and 9. Since 7 is smaller, I would swap these two elements and my array would look like. I would then again compare 7 and 5. But since 7 is already greater than 5, no more changes would come in this iteration. And hence this iteration would end over here. Now again, 7 got inserted at the right position. And this would be the new array we would be proceeding ahead with. Moving forward, the value of I becomes 5 and hence I am pointing at number 4. So my key is 4 and the value of j is 5 minus 1 equals to 4. That means we will be looking at up till the fourth element in the array. So I compare 4 and 9. Since 4 is smaller, I would swap these two elements. I again compare 4 and 7. Now 4 is again smaller, so I do a swap again. My while loop is still running, so I again compare 4 and 5. I do a swap again. I would still try to compare 4 and 3, but since 4 is greater than 3, no more changes would come to this array. And hence, this would be the array I would be working from going forward. Now, if you look at this array, this has been completely sorted. The loop would still run on, and the I would range from 6 and then 7, but no modifications would be coming in the array. And ultimately, your array would be sorted. So this is how insertion sort actually works. After every iteration, you are taking up the element and inserting it at the right position. So after a couple of iterations, you get the final answer. And this array is finally sorted. I hope this video gave you a good insight of how insertion sort is one of the techniques that you can use in computer programming to sort a sequence. I just took the example of numbers, but in a similar fashion, you can also take up the case of characters from A to Z, or for that matter, any sequence that follows a certain pattern. If you found this video helpful, please do consider subscribing and share this video with your friends who might seem to get some benefit out of it. This also motivates me to create more and more such videos where I can simplify these programming concepts for you. As per my departing thoughts, take a moment to think about some scenarios where insertion sort would not be a good idea. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will try to discuss them with you. Until then, see ya.